Hello, so today we're going to be doing another VOD review. This is going to be another 6 sniper game. I think the last time I played 6 snipers, it was a little bit high roll and things kind of all worked out really well. In this case, I don't think they worked out particularly well. But this can be a testament to me just not understanding the current landscape of the game as well as I should. But obviously if you like this content, make sure to like and subscribe. We reached our subscriber goal, so we're going to have our giveaway soon. I'll probably give details about it starting next week, as I was saying before. And also there'll be some more information about like members and stuff like that, because I'll probably start like lessons and discounts on like commissions and art stuff. But that's all upcoming for next week. For now, this is just gonna be a simple VOD review. Also, I'm gonna make a guide on pivoting, hopefully out on Monday, but probably out sometime next week as well. So if you're looking forward to all of those things, make sure to like and subscribe. But like I said, you can just watch the content. I don't really mind. Anyways, over here, I'm just holding on to a lot of units, right? I have a bunch of Kabukos. I always hold on to Kabukos. Always hold on to units that are easily able to be played into the hero augments, because then your game's kind of a little bit easier. So obviously if I have a Kabuko pair, I'll hold on to the Kabukos. I can also hold on to Faded here. I have an Ari pair. There's a couple options for me to play around, right? The main thing though is that, like, as of right now, I don't have too much direction. I'm kind of waiting to see what my item drops are. And then once I know my item drop, maybe I can start to hold units that kind of tailor a little bit better towards those. Here I have the option of Sniper Crest. So Sniper Crest is basically like you're usually just playing towards 6 snipers. There's a couple niche lines. And then there's Call to Adventure. So I could play Call to Adventure. I think both of these are strong options. I don't think Healing Orbs or tons of stats is anything that's like really good. The problem with Call to Adventure is that I'm a little bit worried about some of the matchups with the Kale. I think Sniper Crest, because it gives me an Aphelios and I already have a Guinsoo. If you look at my items are already really good, and I know that I was holding a couple Faded units. Right, I didn't hold the Yasuo, so it didn't work out perfectly. But here I have an Ari upgrade, so I just put items on Ari. This is definitely a mistake, by the way. Putting the items on the Ari was a huge mistake here. I should have just put the items on Aphelios. Aphelios 1 does way more damage than Ari. I'll figure it out later. But basically, I was just thinking like, oh, Ari will be an item holder because I'll put these items back onto somebody else later. Right? That's like my main thought process. But basically for me, it was between Call to Adventure and Sniper Crest. Both are very forcing. Call to Adventure, without having a Story Weaver +1, sometimes works out really poorly. So I'm not too keen on it unless I have like a really good item. Like if I have Call to Adventure and I have a Shred item to start, like if I had Spark or Shiv on my bench, then I would play towards it. Because I have the sniper items, to me it made more sense to play towards snipers. Typically when you're playing snipers, right, let's just go here. I'll go stats. Alright, so when you're playing towards snipers, like if you go like 4, like the typical setup usually was 4 sniper, 4 warden. Right, if you go 4 sniper, 4 warden, you'll see that it averages like a 4.5. It's a very mid comp. It's a very like whatever comp. But if you go 4 warden, 6 sniper, you'll see that it actually does really well in the stats. Right, it averages like a 3.3. The problem is if you just don't hit the 4 warden and you're just stuck on 2 warden, then your average plummets. But it's like a 4.7, right, versus like a 4.5. So like a lot of times it's like a little bit situational exactly how you end up playing around it. But in general, 6 sniper is a very strong trait, just because it's very like glass cannony. You don't have a lot of frontline, but just do a shit ton of damage. So in certain matchups it's really strong, and in other matchups it's not particularly strong, right? If you're going 6 sniper Ashe, I think you always want Guinsoo on Ashe, right? I think it's like always really good on her. But the thing is, when you're building 6 sniper, you have so much damage that sometimes you have other item options. But typically Ashe is like Guinsoo, Last Whisper, like those type of items. If I just go on craftable here, Hextech Gunblade is the one that I usually miss out on. Usually I just go Guinsoo, i.e. Last Whisper. Like this is like the trio that's really good. Hextech Gunblade is sometimes good, but especially with 6 sniper, because the Ashe does so much damage, it also helps to heal the front line a lot. So you see that a lot of times it will do like a little bit better than I think if you put 4 sniper. I think it does a little bit worse. The Gunblade. Oh, Gunblade's still up there actually, but it's just worse than Guinsoo, as you can see. Like with 6 sniper, it just matters a lot with frontline, right? When you're going with your team build, right? Typically what you have is you have a setup that's similar to like whenever you're playing sniper, you usually have a setup where you have 4 warden in the front line, and then your back line you have all your snipers, right? And typically you're just playing these ones, right? But the thing is, if you make it to level 9, Then what you can do, also when you position your snipers, you always want your Ashe opposite side of the opponent's carry to do as much damage as possible. And then your front line, it depends how your opponent's position you, but you want to just make sure you don't get wrapped. You don't want a melee carry to come and hit your backline units, right? But other than that, you typically play this. You prioritize Last Whisper last, so typically you'll make IE and Guinsoo first, because Aphelios gives some shred. Or give some sundering, so you can make you prioritize Last Whisper after that, because you don't want to waste your bow and your glove. You can make better items for Ashe. But anyways, your board looks something like this, and then when you're playing 6 sniper, you basically have to make sure that you're holding on to this Kog'Maw, because you'll play the Kog'Maw, and then you'll sniper emblem somebody, right? All of the frontline units are okay with sniper emblem, right? So Set does like a big AoE stun, so Sniper Emblem's really good on Set if you have a Set, because he'll just have like a larger stun because the Sniper Emblem increases the range. And Nautilus can also like hit the backline. Typically when you're playing 6 Sniper, this is like your best setup that also gives you 4 Warden. There is situationally that you'll see people try and build like a Sniper Emblem on a Syndra instead. But then this is like a very high roll board, because then you lose so much frontline, right? The frontline being 4 Warden and having some upgrades is really strong. And the biggest problem with this board, though, is that as you can see, this is a board that you need 9 spots to fit in, right? A previous video that I showed on this channel, I got new recruit, so it allowed me to easily fit in 6 sniper, and I was like giga strong for like most of the game. I think I went second. This game, you'll see, like I don't hit new recruit, so you kind of have to make it to level 9. And if you low roll your front line, like usually your back line, even an Ashe 1, a Aphelios 1, these guys being 1-star won't really matter with 6 sniper. But your level 8 board, a lot of times you play something like this. Like you just play 3 Warden, and you just try and hope that you can make it to level 9. You just have to try and find upgrades for like a Mumu and a Lawi, and then you're usually okay. But it's really dependent on like your items working out, because Ashe is really specific a lot of times with what items she needs to take. You need to high roll a lot for this comp to make it work really well. But that being said, you can still play it for like an average of like a 4.5. So you know you're playing for 4th if you don't high roll. Essentially is like the idea here. And then if you high roll, you can play for much more. The only thing that I did differently on my board, so obviously I skipped a little bit of stage 2. I don't want you guys to worry too much about it. I should have slammed IE here already. I just didn't. Also, my inking app isn't working. I apologize for that. I'll get that working. But basically, like I said, I prioritize IE and Guinsoo, and as you can see, I just high roll into an Ashe. So I immediately sell the Aphelios and put the items on Ashe. Ashe 1 is better than Aphelios 1. Aphelios is a really good item holder for much of the game. So it's really good if you have an Aphelios 2, you don't sell it for an Ashe 1. Like that's an idea that you can keep with you. But because here it's such an early Ashe and I have an Amumu already, like I really don't believe in like Faded being the key to me winning the fight, even though I have like this Kindred that I itemized. So I think it's just better to switch the board, make econ thresholds, you know, because I don't want to just hold this Ashe on bench, you know, just make 30 here. I'm in a decent spot. I'm not streaking, but I'm not that poor, right? I'm 30 gold, level 5, non-full streak, and as I'm zooming in because I'm like, what the fuck? I hit an Ashe so early. But like I said, this comp, you really need to high roll a little bit or else you'll probably go 8th, right? That's like the main thing that happens a lot of the time. But anyways, we're at Krugs now. I'm basically just playing these units. The only reason I'm playing them, I had Darius in before because I had Yasuo and it was duelist synergy. I'm just trying to help on my front line a little bit, right? The extra shield from Umbral is probably better than some of the other traits I found. Obviously, I can put in a Behemoth and play like a little bit of Behemoth front line, but I think that Behemoth on Yorick is less important than shielding on all the frontline units with the Umbral. And that's basically what I am thinking, or what I'm trying to do. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to level up, and then I can play 4 Sniper for my mid game. That's like the main idea here. I could have kept the Lux, but it's a little bit bait to hold on to the Lux, honestly. But basically, I want to level and play Senna. And that's basically like my board for much of my mid game. If I had Aphelios, you can play around Faded. Obviously, like you can play like you can play this similar board. But imagine if I had Thresh with the Yorick for synergy, and then I had Yone and Darius. Then I would have Faded and Behemoth and Umbral that all kind of synergize with the board really nicely, right? There's a couple options. I'm looking around. And everybody's like giga hitting, right? This is one of the problems I'm having a lot. Everybody's kind of committing reroll a lot. Like this guy's level, he's level 6. He's sending it to like 0. He's sent a 2. Like everything paired. He has like, he's literally 3-1. 3-1, pretty much as much gold as me. 3-1, and he has 5 Sennas, right? Like, you'll see a lot in this game. Everybody just like rerolling a lot, and this is my like bad read on the meta, right? I'm not good at reroll right now. I feel like a lot of the lines that I play reroll, I don't really understand how well they stabilize. And a lot of times, especially when I'm in, I don't know how it is in your lobbies, your elo, like your experiences, but for me, I feel like every time I commit to a reroll, there's somebody that just blatantly contests me, even if they have a worse spot. And I think that's just a testament of being low elo master, right? I'm not very good at the game, right? I'm a master, but I'm not like consistent high elo master. I'm like around the 100 mark all the time. Sometimes I drop low, sometimes I go a little bit higher, but I'm not breaking through with any new investment of skill, right? I'm not like trying anything new. I'm not learning anything new, right? And the problem with that is that sometimes I'm in lobbies with players that are like 0 LP and just don't give a fuck. They will just like hard force something from the get-go, contest you, they'll go 8th and they'll hold your hand and bring you down, which is why I avoid reroll a lot of the time, right? And I think that's a problem. I think reroll is like the meta now. I'm watching regionals this weekend as well, so if you don't know, like in competitive TFT, there's regionals before Worlds, so like all the top NA players, after several tournaments and gaining points, they're all playing all weekend in like rotating lobbies so that they can try and get into the spot to represent the Americas in the Worlds competition that's going to happen in a couple weeks, right? And I'm watching it, and the lobbies are like half the lobby or more is reroll. Like everybody's dedicating themselves to like these hard reroll lines, and I don't know, it's kind of like I need to learn them a lot better because I need to be good enough to play them contested, and right now I'm not good enough to play them contested. And I run into situations like this where you'll notice that a lot of the lobby is completely reroll. As of right now, it's not. Like, this guy is just a little bit stronger than me, so I'm probably going to lose this fight. But a lot of the other people in the boards, the problem with reroll is that if there's a lot of lobby that is reroll and you're not reroll, also Ashe just fucking clutched up. That's my girl. Let's go, Ashe. If a lot of people are reroll, then you start to lose a lot on stage 3, and you lose a lot of HP, right? You'll see that I'm 95 HP. I'm streaking. I'm in a really good spot. This is going to Uno reverse itself really fast in this game, just because everybody's going to spike so hard, and my board is very glass cannon, right? If I don't stall out long enough for my Ashe to get stacks, I just lose the fight, right? This guy, like, his whole board is upgraded. If I fight him, I just lose, right? He's not in a good spot to win out later in the game, right? He obviously high roll now that he has like a really strong board right now, like this minute, but his board isn't strong for like late game. Like his econ is destroyed, right? This guy is Gnar. This guy's learning to spell, just hard forcing the Janna line, or committed to the Janna line. Maybe he had a good opener for it. So everybody's scaling and getting very strong right now, and they're all rolling, like, they're all slow rolling 50 gold on this stage, right? This guy has Dryad Emblem. He has 3 duplicators, so I'm pretty sure he's just 1 or 2 Gnars off from Gnar 3. He has no Gnar items, so, you know, hopefully he misses all the Gnar items as well, and then I'm in a good spot. But that's what I mean. Everybody's going to have, like, these giga strong units, and I'm in a very glass cannon build, so this can be really bad for me really fast. Obviously, I high rolled the Ashe. I'm not complaining about my spot. I don't want that to come across in any way, shape, or form. But what I'm trying to say is that, like, don't look at this spot as saying, oh, this is a really good spot. It's more so like, I'm in a good spot right now, but very soon I won't be. That's what I'm trying to illustrate. And that's something you should always understand with your own board, right? Not only look at what you hire and what you have, but understand relative to the lobby how your comp particularly will match up, right? Mine is a comp that doesn't have a lot of frontline. So if a lot of people have like 3 cost 3 stars and 2 cost 3 stars, if I can't chew through them fast enough, my glass cannon build will fall apart really fast. I'll lose by a lot of units, right? Especially if like a Gnar gets a wrap on me. Also, what absolutely sucks, you'll see that my Ashe isn't directly in the corner, right? When you position your snipers, you always want them to be in the corner to maximize the damage output, right? You want them to be completely opposite of the opponent's carries, and as far away from frontline units as possible to do as much damage as possible, because that's how the sniper trait works, right? The problem with me is that there's a Lux player in the lobby. So if I put my Ashe in the corner, so last fight I lost, and I'm pretty sure I could have won it if my Ashe was in the corner, because my Ashe died before my Senna and it came down to 1 unit. So now I put my Ashe in the corner. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll gambit it. I have a 1 out of 3 chance of fighting the Lux player. And what do you know? 1 out of 3 chance I fight the Lux player, right? I positioned for the Lux last turn. It didn't work out. I positioned for the Lux this turn. It works. It's like, it's so difficult when there's a Lux player. This is like a matchup diff, right? Snipers into Lux is so bad because my backline is so vulnerable because I either lose a bunch of damage output or I lose the fight straight up. So this fight, maybe I would have lost anyways because he has a bunch of upgrades, right? He has Learning to Spell. He has Alawi, Mumu, Janna upgraded, Lux upgraded. But like, there was no chance of me winning against this guy. So I just get railed because my Ashe just dies instantly. You know, it is what it is. It's fine. It's not the end of the world. It's just rough is what I would say. But that's the thing. Now that I fought the Lux player, I feel safe. I could just keep my Ashe in the corner. It would have been nice if it worked out a little bit better with my positioning, but I don't want it. Like, it's so difficult to make that decision because, like, you know, that was like a 1 out of 3 chance, right? It was like a 33% chance I fight the Lux player last turn, I'm pretty sure. And, you know, it just didn't work out. I think this is the Ghostly guy, or sorry, this is another Senna player. So, you know, I don't think this guy's committed to Senna reroll because the other guy's so far ahead, like this guy. But either way, this matchup is also bad if they have more frontline than me because I just don't get the access to the backline unit before. As you can see, it is very close, right? Ashe is very strong. If my frontline was a little bit better, that I stalled out for a little bit longer. That's what I mean by very glass cannon, right? If I just had a little bit more frontline, I'd be a little bit better off. Here, because I'm just committed to level 8, I'm decently high HP. As you can see, I went from top HP. Obviously, I lost 3 fights. Now I'm at 70 HP. If you look at the rest of the lobby, there's this guy that I think is playing Fortune, right? This guy's Fortune right now, so that's why he's so low HP. So he's going to have like some sort of Giga cash out. Oh, he already cashed out. So he's playing Lilia. He's already hitting everything. This guy's going to Uno reverse and be very strong, but I'm pretty sure he was a Fortune player, right? And then everybody else is around the same HP. They're all like in that 50 to 60 range, right? So me at 71, I'm not like super high HP, but I'm also not super low HP. But at the same time, like if I lose one fight, I can easily find myself at the bottom of the pack, right? Anyways, here I'm just debating. Like I think I'm just gonna pre-level. I'm holding on to some Luxes here just in case I had to play like a 4 porcelain board, right? With Sniper +1, you can play 4 porcelain with a Lux. It's not that good unless you have like Lux items. The only problem is here, I don't have like a good item to slam, right? I don't know what I end up doing. I think I absolutely grief this somehow. I want to see what I do, because I think the best thing to make here is Steadfast, right? And then just hold on to the bow for maybe like some sort, hold on to the sword for some sort of Ashe item. I think this is where I make a big mistake. This matchup's hard because it's Ghostly, so I'm just getting a bunch of Ghostly stacks, and I couldn't shoot through this guy's front line. But as you can see, this guy rolled it really deep, and now he reestablishes Econ. He's in a decent spot. He just has so much ability to do whatever because he's streaking the whole game, right? It's a little bit difficult to deal with, but there's not much else I can do, right? I'm just gonna send it next turn. I pre-leveled to level 8. I took healing orbs to have a little bit of extra front line, right? A little bit of extra front line is good. And then I'm looking here, and you have my bow. I just take you have my bow. Oh, this is what I do to grief my items. Okay. Wait, let me see if there's a better option here. You have my bow is good, but it was probably Martyr, honestly. I'm curious. We're gonna check the stats on this one. Okay, so let's see. Bulk, Martyr, and you have my bow. Let's check out the stats on this one. I'm gonna pause it just because I'm looking at these stats, but I think it's a good teachable moment because I'm curious if I think this is where I made the wrong decision that kind of cost me a couple placements, right? So let's say I have Ashe. Let's just say it's 2-star. Let's just say 6 Sniper. And let's go Augments. And let's say you have my bow. You have my bow is minus 0.3, right? Then I have Cyber Bulk. Cyber Bulk is a little bit worse. And then what is it? Martyr 3.3. It says you have my bow is the best. That's what I thought, but I think the problem is I just don't have enough front line right now. Yeah, so I feel like this is why I made this decision, but I feel like it wasn't the right decision. You know what you feel me? Do you get what I'm trying to say? I think both of these help out my front line, which is what I'm lacking right now. And I took you out of my bow. So the reason I took you out of my bow is because I just saw like sparkly eyes. I'm like, ooh, last whisper. That's the last item I need for my Ashe. Last whisper, you know, like a monkey like clapping my hands. Like last whisper, last whisper. I can do it. I get the really strong unit, right? I don't know. I think it was bad decision. Let's see what I do here. I definitely fuck up something. Okay, Alawi. Okay, let's see what I do. Yeah, this is bad. Oh, and then I'm gonna put on Alawi. Yeah, just things didn't work out, and then I make Edge of Night. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Corrections to what I should have done this turn to make myself stronger. Number 1. I should have put an Udyr over this guy. I'm 3 Warden anyways. This Jax doesn't matter for shit all, right? I should have probably not made Last Whisper. I know that sounds really dumb, but I really need a frontline item. I don't even think the Shred matters that much. I think it would have been better to make Steadfast on Alawi and just hold on to the sword if I wasn't comfortable with making sword. And I think you have my bow as a little bit of bait, right? I think it was a little bit of bait. So, I'm rolling very deep here. The reason I'm rolling is because I don't even have an Amumu upgrade. When I have a Alawi upgrade, now I made Edge of Night on Alawi, right? The reason I made Edge of Night on Alawi was because I thought to myself, I need to slam any item. And the thing with Alawi is a really good frontline unit because what she does is she summons a tentacle, right? And then the tentacle gives her like an extra health shield and lets her heal herself, right? So in my head, what I thought to myself is that if I put Edge of Night on Alawi, even though it's not like a good frontline item and it kind of removes her from the game, which is really bad for a frontline unit, which you'll see here, right? You see how the Gnar like runs away from my Alawi. Having the Alawi just be a nuisance, like how she is right now with the Edge of Night, could allow me to win the game, right? So as you can see in this fight, I'm pretty sure this guy's way stronger than me. He has a Gnar 3 already. But my Alawi is just being such a nuisance, like in the backline, just soaking up Kindred damage, that with the Edge of Night, basically I'm just using the Alawi to bait the enemy in a certain way, right? As long as they stay away from my Ashe will kill them, right? If I put my Alawi on the far side of the board and everybody goes this way, and then they de-aggro and then they walk this way, the wasted time they spend walking around, that's my thought process, right? Even if they walk to this backline, these shitters do a lot of damage, but my Ashe will just snipe this guy, and that's what happened with the Gnar, right? That fight is exactly how I expected this item to use. I just have to slam items because I'm scared, right? As you can see, I really low rolled on my frontline units, right? There is a Lux player that's rerolling a Mumu, so it's hard to find a Mumu. The Fortune guy that got hit everything has all these Nautiluses. That's this guy right here. I don't even know what's going on. So I need to upgrade these units, right? If you look at my front line, not only my 3 Warden, my front line is pitiful. This is the Fortune guy I was talking, not this guy. The guy right before was the Fortune guy. You'll see when you fight him. He is fucking strong. So I'm in a spot now. Remember I was saying like you can play for like first, but then you might not play for first. You might just play for a fourth. This is a fourth. I'm telling you guys now, this is going to be a fourth. And, you know, if I high rolled and I hit a Nautilus 2, it would have been a first. But I am not making it to level 9 anytime soon because I need to find an Amumu upgrade. And until I find an Amumu upgrade, I am not saving gold to go to level 9. Look at this guy. This guy has Azir 2. He's level 9. Azir 2. This. Annie 2. Nautilus 2. Duplicating Hui. I just got railed. I don't know what this... I'm pretty sure this guy was Fortune. But either way, holy shit. I am not in a good spot compared to that guy, right? And as you can see, I'm bleeding out really fast, right? The guy with the Sennas, I think at one point, this Senna guy, he was very ahead of tempo that he had a lot of upgrades early. But relative to the rest of the lobby, I think this guy's going to drop down really fast. It's just that he's so far ahead that he is definitely outpacing me, right? Like by the time he starts falling off, like how do I phrase this? If I fight this guy, I think I can beat him right now. And as you can see, I have to sack my Senna. I have to sack my Ashe positioning because the Lux guy is in my lobby. I think this is the Lux guy, right? Because the Lux guy exists, I'm kind of stuck. What happened really good is that I got this support item, which is the Locket. So Locket allows me to have a little bit more frontline, which is really nice. So that's good. But it really sucks that that guy hit so many Nautiluses. He did roll ahead of me, so obviously was bound to hit more Nautiluses than me. I really need to upgrade these 2 units in order to play for a placement. Here, what I did here is I put the Caitlyn in front of my Ashe. The only reason I put Caitlyn in front of my Ashe is because when Lux does her stun, it reduces damage by 30% for each unit that it hits. So if you put a unit in front of the Ashe, then the Lux damage will get mitigated. Lux also stuns the first 2 units that it hits. So if you have 2 units in front of the Ashe, then they won't hit, right? But as you can see, I'm very glass cannon, right? Against these Reapers, they can't out DPS. I even have an Ashe too, right? As you can see, all my frontline lived, and it's just because like the Alawi healed up in time. The Amumu was tanky enough for right now, like this current stage in the game. And I'm trying to figure out like what the best positioning is here. I really want my Ashe in the corner to maximize damage. I'm just so scared about the Lux. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to stack all my units in this Lux line, because I want to keep my Ashe in the corner, and then if the Lux stuns, I just want the Lux to hit all of the units and like not hit my Ashe. Like as long as my Ashe doesn't get stunned, I think I could even beat the Lux player. So that's what I'm trying to do. Here it's like another bunch of items. I definitely want to reforge the sword in order to make something else. So we're gonna reforge sword, and I hit a rod. Now I could make like crown guard, gargoyle, like something like that. I don't have anti-heal, right? And I think anti-heal is really important against some of the reroll players, like the Gnar player especially. So what I decided to do is I decided to make Stoneplate for Nautilus, and Morello I just put on Alawi because she uses AP really well anyways. She has Edge of Night. She's kind of like a little bit like a frontline nuisance now, right? Oh, I have anti-heal. Bro, I'm so fucking stupid. Wait. Okay, this was a mistake. I forgot that I made Sunfire. Okay, so it wasn't make anti-heal. I apologize. This is probably the biggest mistake I've made so far. I made Morello. It was not make Morello. It was Crown Guard for sure. It was 100% Crown Guard. Crown Guard with Edge of Night. It would have been great. So this is a huge mistake. Huge mistake. Even now I forgot about it. I'm so used to not making like Sunfire. I'm so used to not making it that I literally forgot about it, and even now I forgot about it. So my bad. This is the guy that was like streaking the whole game, right? Yeah, this is the guy that was streaking the whole game. This is what I was saying. When you get stuck on level 6, right? He has a Senna 3. I'm pretty sure I still beat this, right? Like, I'm pretty sure I have more damage output. Yeah, I just have way more damage, right? This is what I'm saying. It's not even close, right? Like, yes, there's a lot of ghostly stacks. It's kind of close, but that's what I mean. I'm pretty sure I outpace in terms of DPS. The problem is all the other rerolls I lose to, I'm pretty sure. Like, I lose to this guy 100% of the time. And I lose to, like, the Gnar player 100% of the time. And I might lose to this guy, right? Because the problem with the Gnar player is that he's stacking Dryad. He's going to be 6 Dryad, right? This guy's really awkward. I don't know if I beat him. This guy, I think, is kind of not that strong, but maybe I'm wrong. But there's the Gnar player that's insanely strong because he's 6 Dryad, so I'll have a hard time getting through the front line. I'm trying to greed to go level 9 here. Obviously, I'm positioning for the Lux. That's why I have all these units like this. It does make an awkward pathing for some of the units, like you know, if they have like an Udyr, for example, and he gets on these units, it's a little bit scary. This guy has Xayah too, level 9, 1 gold, double best friends. I think I lose against this guy. It's hard to tell. Oh, this stun on this was probably the deal breaker for me. Let's see. It's so close. Yeah, I think if I didn't get stunned, I win, because the Xayah would have died if I didn't get stunned. Yeah, it's a little bit of a rough matchup. This guy's very strong. Double that augment gives armor, which is specifically good against me, so it's pretty bad. Man, I still can't believe I made double thing. That's so dumb of me. This Gnar player is just so fucking strong as well. I don't know if I beat him. He's only 4 Dryad, but that's just because he hasn't found a Azir yet. I'm trying to debate which side I position on. I want to be on opposite side of this Gnar. The thing is, I always want Alawi on the opposite side of this unit. So I think this is really bad positioning. Yeah, this is awful positioning. Oh, God. His Gnar items aren't the best items, though. So that's a saving grace. But this is such bad positioning. So usually, the reason you want Alawi on the opposite side of the, what's her name? Of Ashe. Yeah, I'm just going to die here. I'm pretty sure I just lose straight up. Damn. I kind of tossed. This was really bad on me. So what is that, like 10 HP? I don't think I lose this fight if I position properly. Yeah, that's a really bad positioning for me. So the reason this is bad positioning is because you never want to put the I didn't have time to move the Alawi. I think you'll see it next turn. I'll put the Alawi in a better spot. So the reason the Alawi, remember I was talking about Alawi has Edge of Night, and I just kind of slammed it because I needed to put an item on it. Also, I have such bad items. Like, what the fuck? I could have had a third tank item on Alawi, and I made a Morello. Like, god damn it. This is why I'm in Master, and I'm not, like, anything higher than 100 LP. I'm fucking shit. Like, that's so fucking sad. How did I forget? I'm even VOD reviewing and I forgot. Like, I'm so stupid sometimes. Like, oh my god. It's okay. I'm kind of just laughing at myself. This was probably because of the heat and just not paying attention. Man, that's a silly move there. Because I definitely could get better than 4th here. I'm pretty sure I go 4th this game, and I could have totally got better than 4th. And it's fine. It's still LP, but it's like, man. Anyways, you always want Alawi opposite of the Ashe here. Because I have Edge of Night, if any of these units hit the Alawi and they go to this side, remember, I want the Ashe to still be able to snipe them. So I want to bait them to this corner. I don't want them to hit Alawi, Edge of Night, and then immediately start hitting my Ashe. Right? Like, right here, this fight, I don't know if I win against him. Because he's, like, has really good augments. And he's going to hit Ascension. Yeah, he hits Ascension. So this was just a DPS check, right? It's a little bit rough. Gnar player is here with 2 HP. Well, that's kind of scary. I think the Gnar player loses if he fights this guy. Oh, this is rough. I think I lose right here probably. So this is the guy that's like really fucking strong. I never beat him. I always beat this guy. Remember I was talking this with the ghostly guy. He just doesn't have enough front line to deal with me. I level here because I think it's my best chance. I'm just trying to find any warden, right? I have a Moo 2 already, so it's fine. So I put in Warden. I found a Garen. It's a little bit high roll, but whatever, we'll take it. It's Banshees and Smite. So Smite is when the unit dies, so I just put on my weakest unit. If I fight this guy, I'm dead anyways. He's just so far ahead. He's fucking, the whole game is fucking over. I put this here. I should position it into the corner. Who cares about the Lux at this point? I think the Lux player died already, actually. So now I'm in a good spot. I fight the Giga high roll guy. Like, maybe not high roll, but obviously just better. Even if I had good items here, I think I'm dead anyways, right? If I'm 10 more HP, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get wiped. Like, this guy's just so far ahead of everybody else. I don't know how he hit so hard, but he just hit so hard. Yeah, like, I'm just Giga dead. But this guy also died, which was pretty funny. So we take those. I don't know who he lost to. He lost to the other guy. Let's see what the matchups were. Oh, he lost to the Kane guy. What was my positioning here? Like, if I hit harder, I needed a Nautilus 2, basically, right? If I had Nautilus 2 and I was level 9, I think I can win the lobby, right? Straight up. This guy, I win every time. He didn't even hit the frontline units, but even if he hits the frontline units, I'm pretty sure I beat this guy. This guy I never beat, so it's at best a second. I think this guy's just so far ahead. And Lilia into Ashe is not like the greatest matchup because this guy just has more backline and more frontline damage, right? So my glass cannon build, I think this guy out DPSs me because I think Lilia with Hui, it makes it really hard for me to position in such a way that I actually like melt the frontline. So this was rough. This guy I can beat. So I think it was at best a second. I think I threw away 2 placements this game. I think if I had a better items on Alawi, like if I had Gunblade Ashe, forget about Last Whisper. If I had Gunblade Ashe and I made better items here, like if I had 3 tank items on Alawi, do I win some of those fights? I think so, right? I definitely could win against this guy one turn. I definitely would have won against this guy one turn. But oh well, it's a learning experience. I think that the top 4 was easy. Don't get me wrong. I think I didn't really, like, as you can see, I made a bunch of mistakes and I still got a 4th, right? I have, like, fucking, look at my Alawi items. This is my main tank. Look at my Alawi items. You know what I mean? So put that into perspective of how much DPS you have with 6 Sniper, right? It's a very playable line. It's just really difficult if you run into situations like this where you kind of, like, lose the plot in your head and you kind of mess up a little bit. But anyways, hopefully that was an enjoyable video to watch. I think it was kind of funny how many mistakes I made, but you know, obviously I was rushing this and doing it, playing games when I can. But hopefully you enjoyed the content. And, you know, you can try out 6 Sniper in your own game. Just make sure you don't make, like, double anti-heal items, you know? Work them out a little bit better, and you'll probably place higher than me. Thank you. Have a great day.